just need y'all prayers. I need y'all to... I don't even know what to say. In my last video, I'm going to go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it.
A music executive and alleged LA gang leader Eugene Henley Jr. has just been named in a 43-count federal criminal indictment. Prosecutors accuse Henley of racketeering, fraud, extortion, and embezzlement. Henley surrendered to authorities last week in connection with a federal complaint.
One of LA's most prominent music and community figures is now facing serious criminal charges.
That's right. Federal authorities say Eugene "Big U" Henley led a violent criminal enterprise responsible for extortion and fraud.
Interesting and respected history, especially in Los Angeles.
Right.
So, what part of LA did you actually grow up in?
So you thought Big U was done, out of the picture. Nope. Even behind bars, the man's still running things like he never left. Word is he's still pulling strings, still calling the shots, and people are listening. But how deep does this go? Let's break it down.
So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6-0, I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. So after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like, Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So
all
you
on
think
the
he hit
TV
you a little too early?
I'm gonna tell you right now, any disrespect anybody that passed away around me, or even my brothers that's alive, and you know they disrespected me or one of us, and I catch you around them just hee ha ha, or just being cool, you got to go crazy about me.
This is my last video before I turn myself in.
So this is Eugene.
On the news, I'm headed back to LA. And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. How you gonna go arrest people that I don't?
Back in March, the feds dropped a bombshell. Over a dozen members and affiliates of the Roland 60s Crips, yep, including Big U himself, Eugene Henley, got slapped with major federal charges. We're talking racketeering, extortion, human exploitation, fraud, and even a 2021 assassination tied to an up-and-coming rapper. This isn't small stuff. It's organized, calculated, and deadly serious. Henley, who had a hand in launching Nipsey Hussle's career, showed up in court wearing a white tee, black sweats, and Nike kicks with no laces. Hands cuffed, legs shackled. Watching him from the benches, about 24 people. Friends, family, all there as he faced the music. So who are the Roland 60s? They're a Crip set named after the numbered streets between Slauson and Florence in South LA, one of the earliest and most feared cliques in the area. And according to the FBI, they've got ties way beyond California. Multiple states, same street code, harsh, dangerous, and very much still active. Nipsey even gave them a shout-out on the intro to his 2013 mixtape, Crenshaw. He ripped the 60s hard, right up until his tragic end in 2019 at the hands of another Roland 60s member. As for Big U, he's not just affiliated, he's one of the originals, an OG, and while the feds are calling him a leader, some LA gang experts say otherwise. One interventionalist, Skip Townsend, claims there is no leader, no structure, just a name, a set, and a whole lot of history.
Being cool, nigga, you got to go crazy about me. And if it ain't that energy, get the fuck away from me. I relate to like Blacc Sam because I stand on them type of principles. Like Blacc Sam said, go get it cracked. You don't get to come back just around here like that shit all cool, nigga. You want to play both sides? Stay on the other side of the fence. And everybody don't stand on these principles, and that's cool. But me? Yeah, that shit never gonna slide.
But here's where it gets even wilder. The FBI started digging into the Roland 60s back in 2020. A year later, they shifted their eyes to Big U's own company, Big U Enterprise, and its possible ties to the gang. And apparently, on wiretaps, Henley wasn't shy. He allegedly told someone he was bigger than any other member, even Nipsey. So yeah, behind bars or not, Big U's name is still making noise. And the streets, they're still watching. So what exactly is Big U being accused of? Buckle up because it's a lot. After years of digging, the FBI says Henley was behind some seriously dark stuff. According to the feds, he allegedly kidnapped and fired at a young rapper in the face, then dumped the body in the Las Vegas desert, all because he felt disrespected. And that's just the start. They also claim he ordered a hit on an unlicensed substance dispensary in LA, a place that apparently stopped paying him extortion money. And when it comes to money, he allegedly scammed everyone from big-name companies to celebrities. We're talking Draymond Green, Shaquille O'Neal. People donated to his charities, thinking they were helping the community. But the feds say that cash ended up in Henley's own bank account instead. And it doesn't stop there. His nonprofit, Developing Options, was getting city money too, specifically from a program called GRYD, meant to reduce gang crime in LA. Between 2018 and 2023, they received over $2 million in funding. But according to the complaint, Henley was using the system and sidestepping city oversight to do it. Mayor Karen Bass's office didn't take that lightly. Her press secretary said they've been cracking down on shady activity within GRYD and made it clear the program itself isn't the problem. It's the alleged deception that's making headlines. And how did Big U respond? Before turning himself in, he took to the internet, posting videos saying all the rumors were lies, just gossip being pushed around online. He didn't directly talk about the homicide accusations, but he did call all the charges bullcrap.
This is my last video before I turn myself in.
So this is Eugene Henley Jr. He's known for previously managing music artists like the late Nipsey Hussle. He's an entrepreneur, community activist. Pretty much he wears a lot of different hats. That's why it might come as a huge shocker when the feds named him in a sweeping RICO indictment called...
I'm looking at this video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option as a front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made as an employee for Developing Option. I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing. We did PPP loans. We did 2 loans. And that's it, just like everybody else did. I didn't use no fraud. I didn't give none of fake names. And one of them we was paying back and one they forgave. You know what I mean? And the other one we attempted for and they didn't give us nothing for it. I filed my taxes and them coming around telling me I was using Developing Option as a cover. Cover for what? None of that's going to be true. None of that's going to be true. The government putting this big picture, they want to arrest 21 dudes, some dudes I don't even talk to. I don't even know nothing about. So how the hell you going to lump me in with all them? But it's all the big picture though. It's all the big picture. Now I'm going to be sitting in here, it's going to be years out of my life. Then you going to get dudes who I don't even talk to. What they gonna say? You ruining people's lives. I heard it's up with 21 people that's been arrested. It's wrong. It is what it is. Church, just pray for me. Just pray for me, pray for my family. And you look at what we did, you look at what I did. I've been home 21 years. It ain't over though. That's what it's not.
In one clip, he even asked what crimes he was supposedly hiding behind his nonprofit work. He claimed he's never used Developing Options to cover anything up and said people online were just feeding into false narratives. Still, investigators mentioned that right after Rayshawn Williams' demise, Henley's inbox was full of DMs, people asking what happened, but he never replied. So now the big question, is this all just smoke? Or is there fire behind these claims? Okay, so Big U's name might be the biggest on the list, but he's far from the only one. Authorities say 18 other people connected to the Roland 60s were also hit with charges in this massive case,
linking him to the 2021 killing of an aspiring rapper. Prosecutors say that Henley, also known as Big U, has ties to the notorious Roland 60s street gang. His arraignment is scheduled for April 8th.
Hello, I'm
Henley, along with Mark Martin, a.k.a. Bear Claw, and Sylvester Robinson, a.k.a. Vay, are all facing serious RICO charges. Now here's the twist. Martin wasn't just any associate, he was the CFO of Big U's nonprofit, Developing Options, and had a solid rep in the gang intervention scene. People even said he helped mentor youth, but it doesn't stop there. Rapper Loose Cannon, real name Tremaine Ashley Williams, got arrested in Vegas for robbery. The feds claim he helped pull off that marijuana dispensary heist in L.A., all under Henley's orders. And here's the wild part. Williams admitted it on the No Jumper podcast. That episode, it mysteriously disappeared after Henley allegedly sent a cease and desist. Now let's talk about Armani Afflagi. The feds say Henley paid her $1,000 to take 3 women from Cali to Vegas for the rough trade. She later told the FBI that she was known for bringing the hose. Yep, that's her own words. And in a wiretap, Henley was heard defending it like, they're grown women, not kids. That's not a crime. That audio is now part of the case against him. Alfagi's been charged with transporting individuals across state lines for intimate work. Then there's the financial side of this mess. Frederick Blanton and Tiffany Hines are facing bank fraud charges, and the list keeps growing. Christian Forbes, a.k.a. Bus, Devonian Hughes, Lamont Green, and Zaire Mitchell, better known as rapper Brick Baby, have been charged as felons caught with firearms. Joshua Hussle and Zachary Garcia, a.k.a. Z, they've been hit with meth distribution and firearm charges. Ron Antoine Britton, a.k.a. Ronnie Mack, is facing narcotic-related charges. Derek Andrew Pollard, a.k.a. Grimsky, is in the mix too, for narcotics and weapons. And it gets even deeper. Blacc Can Hume and Brian Mejia are allegedly undocumented felons dealing firearms out of a store in Koreatown. Yes, a clothing shop, New Leaf Clothing, was apparently a front for firearm sales. Meanwhile, Tion Jones, a.k.a. Blueface, not the rapper, is charged for having machine firearms, and Jaquan Smith, a.k.a. JJ, or Hyde Park Blue, is accused of selling firearms and ammo while being a convicted felon. Before turning himself in, Henley made one last statement. He said a bunch of the people who got arrested, he doesn't even talk to them.
Looking at all these charges on the news, I'm headed back to L.A. And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. How you gonna go arrest people that I don't even talk to? That's a built-in liar right there. You know what I mean? So, is that how they gonna work the case? Everybody know I don't with Cannon. Everybody know I with Brick Baby. So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me, them is the dudes you gonna have to call themselves turning against me. Well, ain't no turn against me. I ain't going for that. You might as well go get 600 and whack. These dudes been saying I did all year. So what they doing is they go on the internet and these dudes say that I did shit on the internet. Then when you say I did on the internet, they go investigate it. Now you raiding my houses, raiding my shops, raiding all this stuff. And talking about I'm committing crimes and covering up with developing option. What crimes am I committing to cover up with developing option? You know what I'm saying? I ain't committed no crimes and covered nothing up with developing option. It's crazy. But this how they get you. They get 1 or 2 people to say something. Ain't gonna be no real evidence. Ain't gonna be no real nothing. It's gonna be a repeat of thug. It's gonna be a bunch of people in jail for a bunch of different crimes that don't have nothing to do with me. They finna lump all of us up and say it's all around the 60s. Watch and see. We just seen it with thug. I'm finna experience the same thing out here. I knew it was coming. Now they on there saying all this stuff to assassinate my character. All right, man, just pray for me. And again, they can do any one of us. It ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided? How they there with the police? And y'all sitting there following them. Everybody that's a part of them shows, and 100 shows and all them shows, and y'all need to, everybody who following them, promoting them, anything. Y'all wrong. Y'all ain't black. And y'all show ain't for our people. They can put charges against anybody.
He asked, What are they going to say? And then called out the system saying, you're ruining people's lives. But from the way it's looking, this case is just getting started.
This is my last video before I turn myself in. I'm with my family. Talk to my sons, I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, going to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. Shit is all bull crap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all to... I don't even know what to say. Now, 21 years, I've elevated my family, come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me, I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate the people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my own family. Appreciate y'all. Go.
All right, let's rewind a bit and talk about who Big U really is, because his story didn't start with courtrooms and indictments. It started on the streets of South Central LA in the thick of it. Back in the 80s, Eugene Big U Henley grew up around Arlington and Slauson, places that knew gang life way too well. His cousin, Chili Capone, ran the Arlington gang, which would eventually evolve into the Roland 60s. So even though Big U didn't jump straight into the 60s, his connection to them was automatic. He earned his name the hard way: street fights, leadership, and loyalty. After Chili Capone passed, Big U stepped up, and as crack started flooding the streets, the game changed. It wasn't just about surviving anymore, it was about making money. Fast. That shift brought more tension, more firearms, and way more danger. Big U wasn't just watching it all go down. He was in the middle of it. He admitted to robbing dealers and getting caught up in the lifestyle. Eventually, it caught up with him. He got hit with a 23-year sentence and served 12 of those years behind bars. But even locked up, Big U didn't fade into the background. Instead of just doing time, he started mentoring up-and-coming rappers, including Corrupt, who went on to sign with Death Row. He studied the music industry, reading books from Michael Harry O. Harris, and started plotting his next move. Once he got out, he moved smart. Big U flipped his street knowledge into music industry power. He connected rappers from the block to big-time execs. He worked with Suge Knight. He even managed Nipsey Hussle for a time, one of the biggest names to ever come out of L.A. But his story isn't just about street smarts or fame. In 2004, Big U started Developing Options, a nonprofit focused on helping the youth in South Central get better chances at life. Real ones: job support, mentorship, community outreach, all with the goal of keeping kids off the streets he once ruled. From gang ties to Grammy circles, from a prison cell to nonprofit programs, Big U's story is layered. He's proof that people can shift, rebuild, and rise up. But now, with all the new allegations against him, the question is, did he really leave that old life behind? Okay, let's keep it real for a second. Big U's already facing some heavy charges, but now people are dragging his name into something even darker: Nipsey Hussle's tragic demise. Yup, the whispers are back. Theories that Big U might have had something to do with Nipsey's tragic end are starting to pick up steam again. And while Big U's been loud about denying it, saying Nip was like a little brother to him, something just stirred the pot again. Enter Blacc Sam, Nipsey's brother, and he just dropped a bombshell in a recent interview that made everyone pause. He sat down with Big Boy, and what started as a walk down memory lane quickly turned into something deeper, something heavier. People are still hurting over Nipsey. Eric Holder may have gotten 60 years, but fans, they still feel like the full story hasn't been told. And Blacc Sam's interview, it lit the fire all over again.
Associating with Eric Holder anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
to put yourself in an environment.
Yeah, having a store right there is associated with
that's the problem.
That was the problem.
If the store was on Melrose, if the store was in Beverly Hills, if the store was in Calabasas, the store was in Burbank. Like, I can keep going on and on in LA.
Anywhere but the Crenshaw district.
But fans, they still feel like the full story hasn't been told. And Blacc Sam's interview, it lit the fire all over again. Now here's where things get messy. After Nipsey's passing, fans started watching Big U closely, and what they saw wasn't what they expected. Instead of grief, some said he looked a little too unbothered, too casual, almost like he was flexing, not mourning. It gave the same energy as those rappers who jump on IG after their enemies get dropped. People noticed, and they didn't forget.
When Nipsey died, right? When Nipsey got killed, we probably had about 375, 400 kids that was in our program. And I had the travel basketball team. We had a contract with Adidas that was worth about $3 million that Kanye West gave us.
Wow.
And then I had like a bunch of other different contracts. And for a nonprofit, we were really thriving. Then Nipsey gets killed. Well, after Nipsey get killed, then the rumor goes out, Big U had something to do. We lost everything.
You lost all those?
Everyone, I tell you everything.
Wow.
Kanye stopped answering the phone. Adidas stopped answering the phone. And I ended up almost going dead broke because we already committed to these teams.
Then Sam said something that really raised eyebrows. He talked about the shooter wearing a red shirt, super unusual for that area. Red stands out. It screams Inglewood Families or BPS, not Roland 60s. Sam believes it was a setup, a decoy move to mislead everyone. He also shared more chilling details. Eric Holder came through shirtless at first, nervous, watching everything. Then he disappeared, came back in that red shirt, and that's when he pulled the trigger. Sam said it felt like someone sent him, like he wasn't acting on his own.
You know how many people over here have did stuff and told, and even if Eric Holder was a snitch, why the fuck? And I don't know if that's what the conversation went, but why even talk about that with this peon?
And let's not forget what happened that day. It was March 31st, 2019, around 3:18 p.m., when Nipsey was hit by bullets in broad daylight, right in front of his own store, Marathon Clothing. The perpetrator fired 10 times and then kicked him in the head. That harsh kick was caught on camera. It was cold. It was final. And it was the last time Nipsey was seen alive.
Crash out, broad daylight, whoever. Where's this nigga at? That was the mind space at that point. Hussle pull up, we in the doorway. You gonna see me with a hoodie on, and I got a pistol on me. One of the team members in the hoodie, in the doorway with a pistol. That's protocol, when Hussle pull up. The protocol, I wasn't there, why they didn't follow it? Maybe they was fucking around helping the customer. From my understanding, old boy walked up with no shirt on first to check the scene. Probably seen nobody was in the doorways, checked Hussle had on shorts, checked everybody else, left. They say came back with a red shirt on, tiptoed through the alley and went right and started shooting. To me, that's premeditated. Number one, there's no red shirts in the hood. You can't buy no red shirt. No liquor store sell no red shirt. Number two, when a nigga come through the alley with a red shirt, that's the throw off, or the Bloods did it. He was supposed to do a job, or somebody sent him, and he was nervous.
Paramedics did everything they could. People on the scene were frozen. 2 others were hit too, rushed to the hospital. But by 3:55 p.m., Nipsey was gone, just 33 years old, and the world felt it deeply.
Forget who called me, man. I just hear people screaming in the background. And they like, man, bro got shot. So I just immediately just run out the house. My grandma was in the living room watching TV, so she seen me run out, didn't close the door, just got in the car, ran every light, every stop sign, and I get there and everybody's screaming, and I just see bro, and I'm just, bro still breathing. Kev Mac was like talking to him and trying to tell him, breathe, stay with, just breathe, bro. I'm looking, we need to figure this shit out, so ambulance on the phone, and everybody screaming. I was just like, man, shut the fuck up. They telling me to try to administer CPR on bro, and asking me, is he breathing? I'm like, yeah, he's still breathing, So we couldn't find the venue. Karen Civil came and ended up like, man, we got the Staples Center on deck. And I think, LeBron, Rock Nation, everybody pulled their resources together.
Nipsey Hussle didn't just leave a legacy. He left behind the people he loved most, his longtime partner Lauren London, their son Cross, and his daughter Imani from a previous relationship with Tanisha Foster. Right after he was fired at, the cops didn't waste any time. They quickly named a suspect, 29-year-old Eric Ronald Holder Jr. And no, he wasn't some random guy off the street. He actually knew Nipsey personally. The word on the street, it all started with a personal beef. Then just 2 days later, on April 2nd, 2019, Holder was arrested and thrown into solitary confinement. By May 9th, a grand jury indicted him. He was slapped with multiple serious charges, including the fatal incident, attempted homicide, and illegal possession of a firearm. In the end, Holder was found guilty on 6 felony counts, one of them tied directly to the first-degree homicide of Nipsey, whose real name was Hermes Asghedom.
Do you remember where you were at when you heard? At Mustard House. We was watching the Duke versus Michigan game. We was chilling on some bro shit, and then a homegirl, she called me.
Yeah.
She called me like, bro, they said Nipsey just got shot. Pray. And I'm like, what? I'm like, nah. And then she called back like, yeah, they said he got shot 4 times. And I'm like, what? I hopped in the truck and I'm leaving. I'm like, where y'all going? Where bro going? You feel me? They gave us the location where they was taking bro. And yeah, we was on the way. And like we was like 15, 20 minutes away. They like, homie ain't make it. I got to the hospital. His family was up there, Lauren was up there, everybody was up there. It was just, yeah, it was crazy.
The trial didn't happen right away. There were delays and pushbacks. But when it finally started, in June 2022, the courtroom was heavy. Holder's lawyers tried to spin it like it wasn't planned, just something that happened in the heat of the moment. But the prosecutors weren't buying any of that. They said this was cold, calculated, and premeditated. And apparently, right before everything went down, Nipsey and Holder had a tense exchange. The reason? A rumor going around that Holder had snitched. And that could have been the spark that lit the fuse.
Blacc Sam, Nipsey's brother, he told me he's a rat. First time they first fall out, when he first got Nipsey signed, Nipsey come back, it was a fallout. They went down, there was a fight, rumble happened. I believe Big U knocked Nipsey out. Blacc Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police sitting right across the street, they see it. They come in, they arrest everybody. Blacc Sam's on parole.
On July 6, 2022, the verdict came in. Guilty. Then by February 22, 2023, Holder was sentenced to 60 years behind bars. But here's the thing. Even with that kind of sentence, a lot of people still felt like something was off. Like Holder wasn't the only one involved. That maybe someone else pulled the strings. And that's when Big U's name started floating back into the conversation. For those who don't know, Eugene Big U Henley was once close to Nipsey. He's a music executive, deep in the South Central scene, and connected to the Roland 60s. He did a 13-year stint in prison during the 90s, but when he got out, he shifted into music and film. He managed actor Ving Rhames, Corrupt, and at one point Nipsey Hussle. But ever since Nipsey was assassinated, fans started watching Big U real close. The energy around him changed. Industry folks began speaking out. Whispers turned into rumors. And some of those whispers said Big U may have played a role in setting Nipsey up. That Holder wasn't moving solo. One of the first people to speak out was music producer Luce Cannon, who just so happens to be cousins with Tanisha, the mother of Nipsey's first child. In a No Jumper interview, Luce made a crazy claim. He said Big U called him before Nipsey was even hit, already talking like Nipsey was gone.
Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Big U didn't let that slide. He quickly hit No Jumper and Adam 22 with a cease and desist. The interview episode was taken down. But Luce clapped back, saying if Big U's first move was a legal threat, then maybe he was hiding something. He later clarified that he never said Big U gave the order, just that he might have known what was about to happen, and didn't say a word. And then, things got even messier. Blacc Sam, Nip's brother, sat down with Big Boy and dropped some serious heat. He told a story that had fans leaning in. Sam said Eric Holder showed up shirtless that day, just scoping the place out, and weirdly, the regular security wasn't there. Then, Holder left and came back. This time, wearing a red shirt. Now here's the wild part. Sam pointed out that red shirts aren't even sold in that part of the neighborhood. In their area, that color screams a different gang. It looked like a move meant to throw people off, a trick, a distraction. Moments after coming back, Holder pulled out the firearm and opened fire.
We in the doorway. When Hussle pull up, we in the doorway. You gonna see me with a hoodie on, and I got a pistol on me. You gonna see one of the team members in the hoodie in the doorway with a pistol. That's protocol when Hussle pull up. So it's Sunday. It's busy in there. Why in there didn't follow the protocol? I wasn't there. Why they didn't follow it? Maybe they just around helping the customer, doing some customer service. This is what I'm thinking, trying to, you know, transition into some legitimate just selling clothes. But nobody was in the doorway. And from my understanding, old boy walked up with no shirt on first to check the scene because he know what's going on in that parking lot. And had a conversation. Probably seen nobody was in the doorways. Checked Hussle had on shorts. Checked everybody else. Left. They say came back with a red shirt on. Tiptoed through the alley and went right and started. So to me, that's premeditated. Number one, there's no red shirts in the hood. You can't buy no red shirt. No liquor store sell no red shirt. Number two, you come through the alley with a red shirt, that's the throw off. Did it. Or the Inglewood families did it. Or the BPS, that's the throw off, red shirt. So for me, he felt he was supposed to do a job or somebody sent him or whatever, and he was nervous. He was supposed to hit that alley with that red shirt immediately, but he didn't do that. He came in and he wanted to check the scene. He wanted to make sure he wasn't getting into it. And that's my thoughts on it. You understand? So, and can't nobody tell me nothing about that because it just don't make no sense. It's not random.
When asked if Eric had any dialogue with Nipsey that day, Sam clarified.
He left, tell me everything I need to know. It was no argument, you know. It was no sense of threat. Because with that come, like, hey, be on deck. It was none of that. It was just, you know, to me it was, let me come through, let me see what's going on, and then let me, you know, and it's broad daylight, man, and it's, you know, it's a lot of unanswered questions, man.
You don't believe he had any dialogue with Nip that day, or did anybody say he said something?
Yeah, no, they had dialogue, but it was in the mix of him coming up, talking to bro, and, you know, whatever transpired, it wasn't an aggressive dialogue. It was just maybe small talk, and then maybe people saying Nip brought something up to him. Okay, he may have, but it wasn't to me that don't, whatever the dialogue was, that didn't justify, or that didn't turn into that. You know what I'm saying? He came there for a reason, and may have got the reverses. I mean, got the, you know, charges reversed because Hussle asked him something about it and humbled him real quick. But I think, you know, it's gonna come to the light.
Blacc Sam didn't drop Big U's name in that interview, but it didn't take long before someone did. And of course, it was Wack 100 who jumped in real quick. According to him, Sam was basically hinting that Big U was behind the scenes, pulling strings, and might even had a role in sending Eric Holder. Then Wack brought up something from the past. When Nipsey brought DJ Khaled to the block to shoot a video, apparently Big U wasn't feeling it, but Nipsey went ahead with it anyway.
There's nothing that I knew about anybody from his backyard that he didn't know about. No information, whether it was involving Nipsey. You know, that goes both ways. Shit come to me, I'm gonna let him know what come to me. This what it is come to me. Things he knew, he let me know what came to me from his side.
But Wack made it clear that wasn't just one little disagreement. He said there was a long-standing tension between Nipsey and Big U. Real tension. Wack swore Sam's words were no coincidence. He believed Sam was low-key pointing the finger at Big U. He even said Eric Holder was like Big U's little bro, and made a wild comparison, saying it felt like a mental patient being walked into a situation, like it was meant to happen. He also speculated that Holder might try to use his mental health in court as a defense.
Police sitting right across the street, they see it. They come in, they arrest everybody. Blacc Sam's on parole. We bail Big U out. Big U tells us, the police tell him, they let Blacc Sam go before he got a bail. Which is, gun, firing, fresh out, ain't supposed to happen like that. He tell him that's one of ours, leave him alone. So all these years, I've been looking at him like he's a rat anyway.
Blacc reminded fans that Nipsey had already dropped a diss track aimed at Big U. Not everyone knows about it, but the ones who do, they know. Then someone asked the million-dollar question. Were Blacc Sam and Big U already beefing? The answer? Not really. Sam's issue with Big U came because of the drama between Big U and Nipsey. Then another name popped up, FS. And here's where it got wild. Word is, just a week before Nipsey was assassinated, Big U tried to press him, and FS stepped in and dropped Big U in front of everybody. And exactly 1 week later, Nipsey was gone. Now fans are connecting the dots. Some say Big U's energy shifted after that maybe his ego took a hit, not just from getting dropped, but because Nipsey had become bigger than him, outshining the guy who once claimed to make him. Now people are asking, was it jealousy? Was it ego? Or is there more to this story than we've been told?
Thank you. Pass right here. Empire One. Pass right here. Nip. Hey, look, Nip ain't with me. Don't try to blend in with me. I don't do that. This is my nigga money right here. All right. What's up, bro?
Let us know what you think in the comments below. That's it for today's video. If you loved it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates.